This is morning in Sweden, and it's May 25, 2022. I know it because it's my brother's birthday today, so I have seen the date and I remember it because it's his birthday, but I have not had any contact with him since our mother died in 1990, so it's very many years have passed by, and I don't know so much about his life, but we are, even if we are blood sister and brother, siblings are very opposite. We are very opposite of each other, because I am a free spirit, and he is a controlling spirit, very controlling. He is crazy. It's sad to say that, but he's mentally sick, and he have been the whole life. Maybe he was born like that. And you know, I have told you that I was born, I was placed by God into an evil family, and he was really evil. So I'm glad that I don't have any contact. But as I am, like I am I open to have a contact with him? But it will be so very different from when I was young, and he could be over me and do bad things, say bad things out in my face. That he will not. I think, I don't know, because we have not had contact. But maybe I go back to the childhood's way to act on him. Maybe he triggered put those buttons that I have, those invisible buttons that he know I had when we were young and lived together in the same home, that he maybe tried those buttons on me, and I maybe is going back there. I have felt that as an adult person, that people can push a button on me that I didn't know I had, or I have take that away in my memories, and then it's coming back, and I am like a little child again. I think you know this kind of things when you be angry at yourself. Why do I act like that? Act like I am a child back when I am an adult person. But that it's when it have been done into your brain for so long time, and then special when you are a child, it's growing with you, that, but you can place it far away into your brain, so you don't go there and think about it. But then suddenly you meet a person, you are in a place, where you get that memory back and you react on that memory in a way that you don't want to have, because it's always negative buttons. For me, is it that I don't go angry, but I be like a little child, and everyone can step on me, and I don't like to have this in my brain, but that's something I will never get rid of, that it's planted into me when I was a little child. And people that don't have this problem or don't know that they have that problem, they can say that, oh, it's only to forget and move forward in your life. You're an adult now. But it's something that comes automatic in us. It's laying there. It will never go away from the brain. So it's not only to forget it and move forward. There is, of course, when you have these buttons in you that you know it can pop up, you should not never try to go there. So that can happen, that you get this button pressed down, and you maybe is it a button that make you go total crazy of anger, and for other people, is it like, for me, is it to be like a little child or start to crying? For me, is it not that I start to cry, it's only that I feel like I'm nothing, because that was what the devil's family that I grew up in, they always say that I have no will, I was nothing, no one care about me. I was isolated already in that family, because my adopted sister and my brother, they two was together, and I was not invited to be with them. And it was only when we were together with other children outside, then we were playing like a normal playing kids. So that's how the devil are. It's he hide. So my brother didn't want to show that to the other kids, that he treated me so very bad. But then when I grew up and I was very cute and beautiful young woman in my teens, and the boys wanted to be together with me, and I was so shy. I was scared about boys, because of my brother have done so many evil things on me, especially in a sexual way, and so they tried to be together with me, but I pushed them away, and then also my brother told those boys, he have friends, and they asked him if they could be together with me, to him, and he told them that I was mental sick or something. I don't know what he was saying to them, but he said something that make them never come back again. So and that have he done the whole life. So all my relatives, everyone that I should have around me, he have told them many bad things. I know that my aunt say that to me once when we were talking after my mother had died, and she said that my brother was in a mental hospital, and she told me that he was walking around and telling everyone that I do drugs, that I was in this homeless and full with drugs. And when my mother lived, and we built a new house, a 3-floor big house, and we didn't live in that house because it was people building the house, so we rent another apartment. We rent the apartment to wait for the house to be built. And then my brother passed by, and he walked into this house that was on its way to be built, and he took many pictures of a house that had no walls inside it. It was only wood and no floor or nothing. And then he showed my mother that that's how we lived. I lived in that kind of house that was like trash in the pictures. And he also, when he was there and did a picture inside the house, and then he passed by when I was in the hospital and had given birth to my daughter, and he never visited me. He never come up and visit me, and he in that time he lived about 4 or 5 hours drive from me, so that was not something he could do it spontaneous. But he was just passed by the hospital and couldn't stop and visit me and look at his, what is it niece, is it in English, the only one that come to this family, because my son, he was in like a foster home because he was so mental sick, my son. So I couldn't have him at home because he was on my daughter and did bad things on her. And he is like that. If someone is weak, he's on them. Animals, babies, younger, and so I fear for my grandkids that my son had my 2 grandkids, and I know he is very evil to them, and I have tried to take them away from him. I have called the police, I have called the social service, everything I have done, but no one. A lawyer also I have talked to, but no one helped me. So I have to let it go. Not seeing my grandkids, and now I know they are, I think they are 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, and I know they are already being affected of to live with the devil. So they are not anymore like they were just when they were born. So my neighbor's cat come now and look around. I know her name. Her name is Astrid. Astrid. So she's not. I can clap her, caress her now. Not before. Yesterday she come. So soon she is my cat. That's good. I miss my cats I breed ragdoll cats before. God told me to breed ragdoll cats so I could travel where he wanted me to travel. And so this is a sad day for many because of the killing of those children in the school in Texas. And you that have followed me and know who I am, you know that I was married in Texas. So I don't know where how far the city that this school shooting have been to where I lived as a married. I lived in Brazoria County in Lake Jackson. It was close to Houston. But as I have seen, I always watch the news in the morning, and I saw that it was very much children that was more Mexican children, and maybe native Indian. But I think it was more, it's very hard. And you know that I am not into see things like that in people. But I look, I think it was very much Mexican. And we don't know so much here in Sweden about the school shooting yet. So it maybe was a school for that's most of these children was Mexican. And when I was married in Texas, we live in that area. We were not many that was on like just American people. Not me, I was not American, but my husband was American, and those other people around us was from Mexico. So I come to know many people in Mexico, from Mexico, how they was talking and how they lived. And that's so great, because I love to know about culture and religions and this about people. And then I have PhD in psychology. I'm interested how the brain is working also in all sorts of people. So I was very happy that I could come to my neighbors inside their home and sit and eat and have a barbecue together. and and it's I it was people working, hard working people, and they had not much money, but that it was strange for me because I tried to spread out the money. I don't have so much money, but I try to spread out the money so I have the whole month money and little extra in the end of the month in case something happen. And but those poor people, we give them much food. We give them milk to the kids and bread to eat. And because when they got money from their job, it was monthly paycheck. And when they got the paycheck, they have a big party, very, very big. Everything flowing. This was floating of beer and wine and things, and much fancy meat and food, and it was big parties. And then they were out of money. In the half of the month, they were out of money, and then we have to help them. We help very much people in Texas. We think there was children in our neighborhood. Their parents had no electricity. They have not could pay their bills for electricity, and so we took in those kids into our home in the weekends, so they have television, electricity, and everything in our home. So it was nice, and it was before I knew God. But my husband was like that. Also, he was very open to other people, very much, too open, as you know, in the story I have told you, that he was too much loving in other people in the body way. But the children, he liked that it was many people in our home, so he took in those poor children, even if we were not wealthy. We were poor also, but my husband, he at least took care of. He didn't run out of money in the last days in a month. But when I was married to him, I have my own business also with web designs. I did web designs to Chevrolet cars and the football league. These things I did. So we got very much money in that time when I lived in Texas. So he could do it to people. And he said that I was a shopping queen, but he was a shopping queen. So all the money ran out from us all the time, because he want to give beer to everyone in the bar and spend money. but he know also that he got money from me, and then when he was working he got his paycheck. So that was not what I wanted to talk to you about, because it was this about school shooting. And it's in Texas. We had 4 guns in our home. I had one, a private gun, under my bed, under my dress, and so there was much weapon in my home, but it was not me that wanted it. That was my husband that told me that I needed to have weapon, and it happened. It was like this, that God wanted us to move, because in our neighbor house there one evening there come up a car, and those people in the car, they shoot into that home, and it was our neighbors. So they could maybe be in the wrong house and shoot into our home and kill us. And our neighbors was killed because they shoot into their home, and those houses were in that area where we lived. That was only like trailer park style, so it was not well built houses. And so that also make us think it was right decision to move away, to move to Sweden, because we ran out of money also. So we don't need to fight for to stay there in the house. It was like go from God like that. You have to move. And then they shoot those in our neighbors, Mexican people. And of course it was drugs in that time also, those things. So this is it's not about a weapon, this with the school shooting, because this boy, his birthday, after his birthday, 18, he was 18 years old. After his birthday, he go and buy 2 guns, and that tell us that he was thinking about it before he was 18 years old, because he go immediately and buy 2 guns. And so that was not something that he had just heard or seen something that triggered him to kill in the school. It is it's not like I assume, because that's my experience and my education is telling me that he had thinking about it for a long time. And it's this that Biden is talking about this, about the gun laws in United States, but it is a part of it. But the main thing is that people don't feel themselves okay. It's like a light or deeper mental sickness. They have these problems in their life. It's very much is it about money. That's what the devil is killing. It's how to pay the bills, for example. That kills because they can't see any future because they can't pay the bills. And they make suicide, or else they go and shoot some people and is in hope that the police is going to kill them. That's a kind of suicide also. And then they only are angry and go and kill. And so the problem is not only the weapon, but it's a one part of it, because it's easy to go and buy a gun in some countries. They don't need to have any license for it. Go in a school to learn about the weapon, how to handle it. And like we have weapon under mattress, and it could easily happen that my husband's daughter, she was born too early, and she had she was behind in her brain, and she could easily have find the weapon, and it was loaded, it was bullet in it to could shoot as soon as should happen. Couldn't put in the bullet in the gun when something started to be there. It was only to shoot, and she could have easily find it. And so it was not about put something in a safety thing for the guns. Me as a military in Sweden, we had not the whole rifle. I had a AK-4 gun and rifle, and it was in parts. It should be in 3 parts, and it should be not in the same house either. So it was very safe. And of course, if someone had coming up very quick, we have not could do anything about it. But it's not only about the weapon. It's how people feel today. It's going more shooting, more and more shooting for every year. But it's parallel with how the society have been. That the devil is running openly now. It's not the devil doesn't hide anymore. He did hide before, but now he's, because the society have opened up for the devil to could work in the daylight, to could be around everywhere and poison people's brain. It's very much about this stress. It's about those reality glasses, those that Mark Zuckerberg in Facebook's owner, it's his stupid ideas that everyone should live in a visible reality in this with the glasses, and that make people go crazy, because that's so too much for the brain. And if the brain is a little weak, then people can go very crazy and kill. And because it's going immediately into the brain, what they see with those glasses. And then is it everything they see on television, computer, walking around the whole time with a telephone in their hands and looking down in them, and everything is going faster and faster in this society. It's a good idea, like when I was a child and we started to get television, and we have one of the first television. It was my neighbor that imported from United States televisions. So he had one, and then we were sitting there in our neighbor's home and watched television. And in that time, in the beginning, it was one day in the week there was no television. So it was only 6 days television. And that's what it should be in the home. Where the parents should tell their kids that it's today is it a free day from all this watching everything. Go away from it, and we go out and do something together as a family, like that. But the parents are the same as the kids today. As I don't say everyone, some of people are like that, and the parents doesn't care what the children are doing, and they don't ask the children questions of how it is in the school and how the days are, or how they feel. They don't talk to the kids, so they don't know what's going on inside the kids. Of course you can't know everything, but you can at least get a hint what's going on in the children's mind, and prevent very much of this mental sickness that cause not only to kill themselves but also kill other people, or rape, or do violent things, or be thieves like that, or do drugs or drinking. That can be prevented if the parents is closer to the children. And it's most everywhere in our wealthy countries. It's different with the poor countries. But here, in where we have all the computers or all the phones, we have all the news into their brains the whole time, and we don't need to have the day for to find money or find food to eat, and then we only have this input of all things that is talking about, that showing us everything, and then the children, what gender are you, what gender are you, you don't look like a boy, you look like a girl, and a girl, you should be like a boy, it's girl are weak, be like a boy, and this gender things and everything that is in the young people's world today. The gender question, the sexual questions is very much in the young people today, when the adult people is about money. But most of the time is it how you treat money, what are you doing with the money. And I live in Texas, for example, and I know in Germany also, I have very much friends in Germany before, and the culture is to go out in the evening and eat and spend money very much. Spend money to be outside and eat, not make food at home. Go and buy hamburgers, go fast food, and spend money that should be much cheaper to do it at home. So it's about the mindset about this frustration, angry and hate and greed is about money, and that it's not money in itself, it's your mindset. It's the mindset. We have to slow down and work on the mindset to be peaceful and focus on today, to live today, and not look on the side what the neighbor have and what you don't have. It's to focus on you here and now, and not what others do. And that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. I'm sorry that I go out very much about my brother, because it was his birthday today. But I'm not going to talk about him in other episodes. This was for today, because that is his day today, the May 25, 2022, and he is 70 old, so it's a special day also. So I say to you, work on your mindset, work on the peace in your mind. And what I have talking, but most of what the spirits have told you about the mindset. So God bless you, and God loves you, and I love you too.